I went to Kenya to work teaching Bikram yoga in Nairobi, and then I actually ended up getting fired and lost my job while I was there and was almost homeless and jobless in Africa. And then I met this woman named Roseline who ran an NGO for this village in Western Kenya that she's from. She took me in and let me live with her. And then I started going with her just as a friend and an observer to this village in Western Kenya where she's from. Basically, she's running this NGO that she started for widows and orphan advocacy because the village is mostly all women and children now because the men are all dying because of HIV. And I just really respected Roseline for the work she was doing. She was single-handedly trying to save an entire village by herself. And I told Roseline, somebody should make a documentary about what you're doing in this village and these people.
My name is Roseline Orwa. I'm the founder of Rona Foundation and Wagoma Orphans and Widows Center. And we are taking our 10-day journey to the village. We are going to do a 3-day medical camp and a tour of the whole region along the lakeshore. We have made a stop by on the Great Rift Valley.
My favorite day in the village of making this documentary and the most heartwarming day was the day that we built a house for a widow. So these widows, they live, with all their children, and still they live in mud hut structures with grass thatch roofing. After some time, the whole house will literally disintegrate and fall to the ground, and then they're basically homeless in the village with all their children. So, you go back into this village, you walk through all these maize fields. A lot of the village came out to help build this house, but it was more women. There was way more than 50% women there that day than anybody else. So it was this, you really got to feel that female, that sisterhood kind of bond between women and how they really get each other's backs and support each other. So it was just really beautiful to kind of witness it from the outside and then also be a part of it and experience it from the inside. My experience in Kenya definitely affected the way I live my life now. Most obvious way for me is seeing these people and these women and children who are HIV positive, who are living in extreme poverty, hardly any food, electricity. They have to walk down to the lake to get water with a bucket on their head to bring it back to cook dinner or wash clothes with. And then they're singing and smiling and laughing the whole time. And it was just such a wake-up call for me to realize, no matter what is happening in my life, that it's never really that bad. The day that we built the house for the widow, that I met this girl, Maureen.
I don't hear you very well, but I don't know English very well.
Okay. I think at the time she was about 22 and really tall, really vibrant, big personality, and we just connected instantly. It was almost like high school girls talking and meeting each other or laughing with your old high school friend. We just brought so much joy out in each other. And one of my favorite days was actually with her washing dishes in Lake Victoria. Her and her other friend took all of the pots and pans that they make the food for the whole village for lunch, and they'd carry them down to the lakeside, and they're washing these big giant pots and everything in the river, and they just would use sand from the river to scrub the pots and everything, and it was just so fascinating to me. And so they told me to try, so it was really funny. So I'm trying to wash this pot and I'm dropping it and they're laughing at me. And it was just kind of this fun experience of washing dishes with your friend that became really unique and fun at the same time. Later, I finally get to interview Maureen, and we get to see the serious side of her, because every other time we encounter her, she's always the life of the party, just so energetic, laughing, vibrant, happy, smiling face. And then we do the interview with her and we get to see her story.
I think that the man is the owner of the whole problem.
Probably.
It's actually, really sad, and she's actually shunned from her husband's family. Her husband brings in a new wife, and they even want her to take care of the new wife's kids, and they just treat her just really, really bad.
I feel hurted.
You feel hurt right now?
Hurted because he take my husband.
Yeah,
she live with my husband. And I show them the way they walk, the way they smile, and they do things together. I am out.
It was just really inspiring to come together with people to tell a story and create something new. So it's definitely changed the trajectory of my life, because I don't think I would be here in film school right now if it wasn't for that experience. So I'm really grateful for that.